Welcome to my review of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice for the PlayStation 4. So this is a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. I've heard a lot of really good things about this game, and when I first started playing it, I understood exactly what it was all about. And the darkness is the darkness of insanity of Senua. And as you may have guessed, we get a front row seat to that insanity.
There's no going back.
And thus begins Senua's journey to hell. So the story is that she's travelling to hell to redeem the soul of her lover.
This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.
Their lives forever entwined. So let's start off with some of the game mechanics. So it is a fairly simple game, quite linear. One of the things you'll need to be doing along the way is picking up these lore stones. They're actually, strictly speaking, not critical to the game, but for platinum they are. And along with the lore, you also get some spirit guidance from Juth, your ever helpful companion in the realm of hell. A lot of this is also puzzle solving. So some really interesting puzzles, sort of pattern recognition puzzles, which can be easy, can be really difficult, and frustratingly, hair-pullingly so. Also some interesting 3D sort of puzzles. One of the things you do find, however, is that the sensitivity of where you are can sometimes really be annoying. An interesting and frustrating component is the sort of alternate world gateways that allow you to transition between different parts of the game world. But Senua's journey is also a journey in herself. In fact, it's her internal journey that is perhaps the most interesting part of Senua's Sacrifice, as you learn not only of her challenges with her psychosis, but also her history and love. And of course there's just a little bit of combat. And one of the things you may have picked up already is that this is quite an interesting game in that there are no heads-up display. There's no map, there's no strength, there's no power bar. There's no tutorial. There's nothing to teach you how to play the game. But one of the things you do realise is that you have some very helpful assistance in the form of the voices in your head. So Senua's constant companions, providing advice and warnings. The combat consists mostly of this sort of almost gladiatorial combat sequence. It starts off one or two opponents at a time, gradually increasing to larger groups of foes. Your moves are limited to light and heavy attacks, parries and evasions, also combo moves. But the patterns and the types of characters that you fight doesn't really change. So once you know how they fight, it kind of is fairly straightforward and predictable. However, that does become more difficult when you've got 5, 6, 7 different foes all on the screen at once. One of the other things that you do get is a little bit more of a different sort of aspect, is that you get the sort of focus effect, which allows you to both slow down time and also to transition into the sort of spirit world a little bit more deeply. The mechanics are fairly straightforward though, and whilst a little bit simple, can be very satisfying. There are also some environmental effects here.
Stand on the edge. Pretend it's
This isn't Tomb Raider though, or Uncharted, so they're fairly straightforward,
waiting.
but well done. And perhaps the most interesting mechanic that is alluded to at the start is one which really does add to the sense of paranoia. So if you die too many times, you lose all progress. But is it that simple? But Senua's journey is so much more complex, and something that really needs to be experienced. So just on the pro side, it is an amazing game. The look, feel, the sound, it should definitely be played with headphones. It's just amazing, and there's so much depth to it. It's easy to learn, and it's nice, short and sweet. So you can definitely go for the platinum on this game. So it is an amazing experience. However, there are a few shortcomings. It is literally too short, and the puzzles need a little bit more variety, and the combat definitely does get repetitive. So once you've worked it out, it becomes very easy. The rune puzzles can be really frustrating, and if you miss any of the lore stones, you're sort of in a big world of hurt. Overall, it is a wonderful game, beautiful experience. Would definitely recommend it. I'd give it an 8.3 out of 10. It is not perfect, but even in the darkness, you can find the light.